We're live.
What's up? Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Carrie, Adam, and Storm. And we have a very special, very brief edition of our show for you today because it's election day and we want to bring you a public service announcement. One thing we want from you today, no matter how you're going to do it, get out and vote. Adam Rice?
Yeah. What, you want me to tell you who I'm voting for?
No, I don't want you to tell me who you're voting for. I want you to tell everybody who we're talking to how important it is to get out and exercise their civic duty.
Civic responsibility.
Thank you.
I'd even go beyond that. I mean, you look at certain countries around the world, and you can call voting a civic responsibility, but I think it's a privilege. This isn't. Not every country is set up to be a democracy. Not every citizen of every country gets the opportunity that we get here in the United States to get out and cast a vote for somebody who's going to lead the country over the next 4 years. And it's not just, the presidential vote that matters. I mean, if people are looking for real change and leadership within their own community, you got to look at the down ballot as well and figure out who you want leading your local community. That's just as important as whoever's sitting in the Oval Office in Washington.
You're right. 11 states currently voting for governors today, 5 states voting for recreational marijuana, and 1 state voting to change the ban on abortion. So get out, do your job, vote. I'm going to pass this over to Storm. You voted this morning. What is
I've got something that I think.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw you guys a curveball.
Okay.
I'm not going to ask you who you voted for, but it's along those lines.
But I'm going to ask you who you didn't vote for.
Yeah. So it's this interesting thing, though, that I personally hate, and it's just my opinion, when business owners are very vocal about their political stance. What is your guys' take on that? I feel like you alienate a lot of your customer base, and it really has nothing to do with your business. What are your thoughts on that?
I'll let Carrie go first because I've got a really unique story for you there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll liken that to the report I just watched on TV about a housewife in North Carolina who says she's completely voting differently than what her husband's doing. And I think the vote is personal and it's up to you and what's right for you, your family, and your business. I don't think it's your place to say that. Yes, there are influencers in this country, and yes, people have a platform to stand on, and yes, people want that, and people make it obvious where they vote with their money and with their comments. But to me, this is a private responsibility, and those who you choose to talk to about it are those to choose to talk to about it. But I wouldn't personally use this as a flagrant stepping stone to promote one party or the other.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think there's more tasteful ways to do it than to flaunt it. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure, Carrie, you may have been a recipient of this email, but it actually made national headlines. The CEO of Expensify sent out a 4-page novel basically imploring his customers to vote for Joe Biden. And it was tone deaf. And it has nothing to do with the candidate that he was pushing. My immediate thought was, 1, this is probably the most unprofessional email that I've ever received. And 2, know your audience. And he didn't care really about either of those things. And I thought it was, and I don't really use the Expensify software, but it was something that ended up making national headlines because his email was so slanted. And while I worked at Benetrends, we had a specific supplier that we worked with that was on the polar opposite end of that spectrum, who was very much pro-conservative. Didn't matter who the candidate was at the time. It was Donald Trump, and it was all over the website. And I had to stop sending them clients because I felt that somebody who was that far skewed to one side of the political spectrum, 1, I couldn't trust because I never knew how a conversation would go. And 2, I just thought you were going to alienate automatically 50% of the people that I sent your way. I was looking for somebody who, you can have those opinions all you want, but just understand, no matter who your candidate is, you're going to alienate half of your customer base. And there's more tasteful ways to do it. But I've seen it done very poorly by two separate groups.
Yeah, and I think it's from a value alignment. It's how you show up and how your business shows up to serve the community that you can reflect upon your views and all of that. But to me, it's just so silly that, and again, it's completely my opinion. But as a business, I don't think it's healthy to be putting that out there. It's because here's the thing is, most likely you're going to attract whatever your belief system is. You're going to attract the majority of those people regardless, just based on your values and your perspective and mindset and all of that. But in addition to that, you potentially alienate. I mean, how many Republicans work for that guy at Expensify? You just alienated and created separation within the culture of your business by sending that email out.
Division amongst your own labor force. It's just, it was not the right way to go about it, especially when I had no idea who the CEO even was. I thought it was a spam email at first, and you potentially just alienated the sale of one of your salespeople, who maybe has a differing viewpoint. But it's just a matter of, I don't know if you can trust somebody who's that pro, one candidate or the other publicly. I don't know if you can trust them with anybody that you're working with. I think that's something that was probably lost inside of all this.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, that was a great question. Now
that was a great question.
I'm going to go to Storm for the weather in Philadelphia. I was hoping we could do this broadcast live from the voting line, but we'll go back to your living room. That's why I was texting you guys early this morning. Storm, what are we looking at in Philadelphia today?
So I can tell you right now, it is a lot warmer in Philadelphia right now than it was when I was standing in line at the polls this morning. We were up at a little bit before 6, out the door before 6:30. We made it over to the polling place by 6:30. They opened their doors at 7 o'clock. When we got over there, we were probably 100 to maybe 150 people deep in line. And at the time, the real field temp was 33 degrees. It was windy. It was dark. It was miserable. People had blankets. You name it. People literally were set up in chairs. I heard the person that was first in line was there at 4:30 a.m. Putting chairs in front of the doors. So it was quite cold this morning. It's a little bit warmer now that the sun's come up. The wind is starting to subside. So right now, temperatures are around 47 degrees. It's supposed to get up to the low 50s. And then we have a warm front coming in this week. So as the week goes on, you'll see temperatures eventually reaching up to the high 60s by the weekend, which, yes, I'll take that in November. So, yeah, it's supposed to get warmer. But I'll tell you right now, everyone was huddled up this morning, masks, hats, scarves, gloves, you name it. Just trying to stay warm, waiting for the doors to open at the polls.
Hey, I got a quick question.
Oh, God.
If anyone in the comment section can let me know, I'm sure you guys are getting blasted by all these political texts. I want to know where they get all these numbers from because I want that list.
0. I've got 0 political texts.
Really?
None. And I see people posting them on Instagram, on Facebook. I have not gotten a single political text.
But if you want to lose 16 pounds in the weekend, I get that text like every day.
What service do you have, Storm?
I have Verizon.
Yeah, so do I. It's odd.
I got both.
Anyways,
somebody sold your information off, my friend.
I'm just looking at it from a marketing perspective, and I want that list. So, anyone knows how to get that list, let us know. Because we could.
Just remember, if they can see your data, they can control your data. Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna end this. Everybody, get out and vote today.
Cheers. Later, guys.